go.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Aspire Sports Show. I'm Kyle. Make sure you let me know if we're having any technical difficulties. I like to start out with that just because, we're new to this, so let us know off the bat. But welcome. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to go over some bets, some fantasy tips for the game tonight, the Thursday night football game against the Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles, Ryan's favorite team over here. So, I'm just going to kick it off. We're going to start off with bets, and I'm just going to hand it off to Ryan and Giggs. They were having a little discussion before the stream started, so let's get into that. Ryan, why don't you go ahead and kick it off for us?
All right. My first bet that I'm big on, and Giggs is the opposite, so we're about to get into it here. I like Boston Scott for the over in receiving yards. When we posted the video earlier, it was at 21.5. It hopped up to 24.5, but since it came down to 22.5. I'm thinking he will get over this pretty easily. Giggs is against me. Boston Scott has never really looked completely comfortable when it comes to running the ball. Receiving, however, the dudes like Darren Sproles in the backfield. So I am big on the over here for receiving yards. So, Giggs, if you have a counter, I'd love to hear it.
My counter is smash that under, baby. No, I think Corey Clement's actually going to get some passing work. I don't know. It's just a hunch feeling. I'm new to player props. I think they're the best type of sports betting, especially on a game like a Thursday night when you never know what's going to happen. And I don't know, maybe the Giants' underrated defense comes out and surprises everybody.
To be clear, if we continue talking about this specific, how this is going to go, the Eagles are wearing black jerseys tonight. So that's really all you need to know as far as how the game goes. The Eagles basically don't lose in black jerseys. So that's where I'm going to start with this. But yeah, Boston Scott, I'm pretty sure you're just wrong. Clement's definitely going to get some work in the receiving game, probably a little bit. But as far as running the ball, I don't expect the Eagles for this not to be like much of a running game. Obviously, it's going to get worked in once the Eagles are up by 2 touchdowns. But as far as receiving works, I like Boston Scott with some screens, some short stuff where he moves a little bit, just like Darren Sproles. That's kind of why they brought him in, to be Darren Sproles, when they realized that he was aging and basically a grandfather. So I am big on Boston Scott over receiving yards tonight.
Hey.
By the way, currently sitting at 22.5.
So, I saw this earlier. I really want to double check here before I say it, but I'm pretty confident that the person that I heard it from, they're on the Pat McAfee show, so I don't see it not being true, but he said Carson Wentz is 4 for 4 on Thursday Night Football, and he's covered the spread every single time. So that's,
they were in black jerseys, all black.
So that just adds to the black jerseys. So there's another thing. Have a little confidence. I personally do think I do favorite the Eagles in this one, but hey, it's a divisional matchup. Anything's possible. So
the biggest,
yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, the biggest difference for the Eagles tonight is going to be getting Lane Johnson back. Obviously, you love seeing Deshaun back, because that's going to be big as far as stretching the field out. But Lane Johnson, big. Ty, I know you're a big Pro Football Focus guy. Pro Football Focus has nothing but good things to say about Lane Johnson. Pretty consistently rating him as one of the best the best right tackle in the league or up there. So getting him back is going to be huge, because he took last week off to kind of heal his ankle a little bit.
Yeah, I am a big Pro Football Focus guy. The stats don't lie. You know what they say?
Mm-hmm.
BFF. Submission make a song. Yeah, so did you talk about any of the stuff that you mentioned in the video, Ryan? Why don't you just mention some of the things in case some of the people haven't seen your video?
Yeah, so the video last night, my first bet was the over for Boston Scott in receiving yards. Another one was over for Fulgham. I know Tyler also goes against that one because I watched his video of his shout out to Thrive Sports for that, Thrive Fantasy. There you go. But yeah, Ty was on the under for that.
Wait. Hashtag, or not hashtag. Code Aspire. You match your deposit up to $50 if you sign up for Thrive Fantasy. All right.
There you go. I like Fulgham in this game. I think Deshaun Jackson's going to stretch the field, take some deep shots that really limits brings the safeties back in coverage and stuff. So I'm thinking as the security blanket that Carson Wentz has had with Travis Fulgham, kind of just trusting him to throw the ball up at times. I like him at the time it was over 57. Since it's hopped over to 62.5. Do with that what you will. Obviously, that makes a 5-yard difference is a little bit of something. I still like it. Not as much, obviously, but I'm still taking the over on that one. And then the final one was Ingram over on receiving yards, because I'll keep pounding it home until they prove me different. But the Eagles don't know how to cover tight ends. Ingram obviously has looked at times like one of the better tight ends in the league if he can stay healthy and if that offense looks competent. Right now, it's a struggle to trust what they're going to do week to week, but the over-under on receiving yards right now is 39.5. They gave up 43 last week to Eric Ebron, or 2 weeks ago to Eric Ebron. Or was that last week? My time flies when it's against the Eagles are playing the Steelers. Wait, no, that was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Last week was Baltimore.
Yeah, the Eagles lost to Baltimore. But I like the over 39.5 in that one as well. And I'll go over my long shot ones that I went over in the video. You people should just listen. Obviously, just watch the videos because I gave them to them earlier. The odds changed a little bit. For anytime touchdown score, I went Richard Rodgers. The Eagles are down Goddard and Zach Ertz right now. They're kind of going deep. You're going to hear from a guy named Crom that I literally never heard of until he caught a touchdown pass last week. So they're going deep. I like Richard Rodgers for just scoring. I don't like the yardage as much as just as anytime touchdown scorer. And then for the first touchdown scorer, I am going Greg Ward. I know you like Greg Ward tonight.
I like Greg Ward.
Touchdown.
I'm going to just say this real quick because I'm big on Pro Football Focus, as Ryan mentioned. Greg Ward's going to go up against Holmes in the slot tonight. Holmes is he's the rated 114th cornerback on Pro Football Focus out of 121. So keep that in mind.
And his over-under for receptions is set at 3.5. I just bet a little bit on that earlier. 3.5 on DraftKings Sportsbook. And while we're talking about the sportsbooks, don't forget FanDuel Sportsbooks offer the same-game parlays. And after all the bets I mentioned tonight, you have at least 3 legs. And if you were to miss on just one of them, you get your money back as parlay insurance. And they're a great way to take a little bit of a bet and make a lot of money, just if you can combine some things you feel pretty good about. Take the bets. If I lose, I'm sorry. Yell at me on Twitter. Do whatever you want. But those are some of my favorite bets for tonight. So I don't know where you want to go, Ty or Kyle. But
I guess talk about a couple.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that Evan Ingram has had a bad year, but I like the over on receiving yards for him tonight. And if you're not confident in Ingram, I like the over on receiving yards for Darius Slayton, because I think someone's going to get a decent amount of yards through the air. And I think Slayton, Fulgham, and Ward all have a good chance of hitting their over on yards. But my aggressive play would be, and I got $5 on it, is to score 2 touchdowns, Devontae Freeman. Because the Eagles have given up 10 rushing touchdowns this year. And I actually think Freeman's starting to heat up. And it's very bullish. It's kind of – it's not the type of bet I would encourage people to lay a lot of money down on, but it's something fun to throw like $3, $4, $5. I think $5 will get you over 100. I think it's plus 1,400 odds. But Danny Dimes hasn't really been able to get it done through the air, so maybe this is a Devontae Freeman game. I like his over in receiving yards. Yahoo has him projected for like 20, but I think he's going to get more than that tonight. And then probably Richard Rodgers. Yeah, they got him at what, 30.5? I'm going to go to under on that. Because even with Ertz and Rodgers in there, I feel like they haven't gotten much love. They haven't really thrown to them. I don't know if they weren't throwing to Ertz because they want to trade him. I know he got hurt, but I'm going to go under on yards for Richard Rodgers.
What is his yards at?
I think it's 30.5.
30.5. What about him as a opening? John Hightower's home run TD opening drive shot play. What is that? Who's John High? Oh, is he an Eagles player? Hightower? Is he a wide receiver?
Hightower's on the Eagles. Mm-hmm. He's the type of guy though that I see losing reps. He wasn't getting a ton to begin with, but he's the one that's dropped, he dropped a touchdown pass last week. He's been in shambles this year. He's a rookie, but he's the type that will lose reps due to Deshaun coming back.
So did frickin' Miles Sanders dropped a wide open touchdown that I needed to beat Pity.
Yeah.
Bum.
Yeah, he just pretty open, and then Kyle Hurd called Carson out for throwing it to the wrong shoulder.
Liberty Bibberty.
Carson's. I feel bad for Carson. I'm going to feel bad for Daniel Jones in this game tonight because, according to my research by Pro Football Focus, the Eagles have I'll say the Giants. The Giants have a minus 39% disadvantage in pass protection. So that means, and that's one of the bets on Thrive Fantasy that I love. Golden Tate over 2.5 receptions. What's the way to beat a pass rush? Draws, you run the ball well, and then short passes, short intermediate passes. Get the ball out of your hands quick. Golden Tate, like him this week, 2.5 receptions. I don't know if that's actually sports books, but that's just what Thrive Fantasy has.
That's short, but there was an update. Shepard's playing as well tonight. Active and playing Sterling Shepard. He should get some looks as well if they're taking away Slayton with Darius Slay.
Yeah, what are they going to – well, because they have – because Shepard lines up on the outside when Tate plays. So that means, he'll go out there. And they'll Slay – What do you
Slay
think? Do you think they're going to shadow?
They should.
Yeah, well, on the other side, you think they're going to shadow Bradbury's going to shadow Fulgham, you think? Or is he going to shadow –
I don't know Bradbury's stats. They have had him shadow this year.
He shadows every single game. He's shadowed. So
Yeah,
that's why I don't know if
because
he can actually shadow
played
Fulgham.
right cornerback twice and left cornerback four times this season.
Well,
so yeah,
Pro Football Focus has just a shadow matrix. It'll show you if they shadow.
That's interesting.
Is he a taller cornerback or shorter? I don't know much about.
I think he's like 6 foot.
Okay, because Fulgham's the taller.
212.
One's the quicker.
That's what I think. I think he's going to probably shadow Fulgham, I'd imagine.
Then, yeah.
He does have 8 pass breakups so far this year, so he's having a pretty good year.
I don't know. I'm still sticking with Fulgham.
57.1 reception percentage. I mean, yeah, Fulgham's
Bradbury,
yeah.
Oh my gosh! Now you have Michael Thomas. He got hurt again.
Yeah,
happened today.
Oh my gosh! What a bum! What a waste of a. Coming around draft time, everybody's like, "Yeah, he's probably the safest pick." Even wide receivers aren't safe. That's why you just draft running backs, because wide receivers get hurt, and I think that running backs offer more.
Well,
it's not as deep.
The consensus first 2 picks, though, being Saquon and CMC, and then Michael Thomas, probably average draft position was 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in that range, depending on how you're drafting as far as the league goes. I mean, those guys have all been hurt this year. Zeke's been horrible. Kamara, I guess,
he has been horrible.
The fumbling is kind of concerning.
Yeah, he has like 5 already.
Yeah,
dude, Pollard started getting. Like once that happened, Pollard was getting a lot of the touches there.
You just can't fumble twice in one game.
Maybe they just we don't like that contract.
Yeah.
What? Anyways,
if you haven't already, sign up. Thrive Fantasy. Use code Aspire. Right above you, Ryan. Right above you to your right, Tyler. It says code Aspire.
To me, it just looks like
also, if you're watching, like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Anybody do the single game slates for DFS?
I don't usually run them, but I put up a mock. I have like a mock little lineup that I look at. Yeah.
Who do you have in your captain spot? Giggs, who's your favorite captain?
My favorite is Darius Slayton or Devontae Freeman. You got to be weird. You got to be out there.
I like Carson Wentz.
Yeah, everyone will have Carson Wentz. That's the thing.
Yeah. We're trying to win people money.
Well, you got to be different in these single games.
I don't even love
Devontae. The thing about single games is if you don't have MVP right, you're automatically out of Like it's very hard to recover. But with football, it's easier than other sports because you never know who's going to pop off in football. Someone can play 3 snaps, catch 2 balls for 80 yards and a touchdown. It'll probably cost $4,500. He'd be your play. Now, I want to look at people who have the highest ceiling coming in outside a quarterback before I consider the quarterbacks, because I think every time you look at a single game, the obvious MVP is either the star running back like a Alvin Kamara or your starting quarterbacks on each side. For this game, the over-under is kind of low. If I see that the over-under on the passing yards are kind of low, if they don't expect huge games from either quarterbacks, then I kind of like to swerve and go with like a skill position player. Because if Slayton gets 8 catches, 66 yards, but 2 touchdowns, he'll probably finish MVP.
Yeah.
And I'm bullish on Freeman having 2 touchdowns. I know that's kind of crazy, but I do think he falls in the end zone today. They've given up 10 rushing on the season. I like his odds of getting one, even though they have a very poor stable of running backs. But yeah, I can understand Wentz. He'd probably be like the quarterback I'd pick between the two. But I'm trying to think outside the box here with those 2 guys. And then I'd probably put Greg Ward in there for his price.
It's pretty ugly, this game.
Oh, typical Thursday game, right?
Oh, it's
They
going to be
usually are
exciting.
for-
But it's going to be exciting. You just wait.
At least
who I
it's
do
a
like-
interdivision.
I think, and we kind of already talked about this, but I think this is going to be a good Deshaun game because I think they're going to shadow. I think they're going to shadow Fulgham with Bradbury, and that leaves Deshaun. And I
That's
think
what I
they're
was
gonna.
gonna say.
I think they're going to hook up a couple of times. Here.
That's why I was gonna bring
like
up.
Deshaun tonight.
I was
And
gonna
then he's
bring
going
up.
to get hurt in the third quarter.
I was going to
Yeah.
bring up this player prop for that reason because I was thinking. So I think if we talk about a lot of things that we're considering, so Giggs is considering Boston Scott could have a huge game tonight. Deshaun Jackson's coming back. Maybe he could have a little bit of production. Carson Wentz make some plays on his feet. And assuming that the Eagles kind of just have a smooth win, obviously it could be close or not. I think this player pop's kind of interesting then because I don't think Fulgham needs to go off to even have a good game. So 4.5 receptions, over under. The over is minus 136. The under is plus 106.
And you know what? Fulgham's a great MVP candidate.
I agree. I mean, he
he's
could just
averaging
go off.
18.47. Wentz is only at 20.69. So
He could
there's
go
no
off
reason why you
or
can't do Fulgham in there
or
too.
just get 4 receptions too and still go off and have like 100 yards. I mean, that's also a possibility because, I mean, who knows? What if they're just doing the dink and dunks through Boston Scott and Deshaun Jackson, and then Fulgham's just that over the top guy, and he just has those splash plays and 3 receptions, 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns or something like that. That's why I think 4.5 receptions isn't that bad. But also, Bradbury's not a terrible corner, and I think that's also something to consider about what Tyler's talking about too. He could just get completely shut down today too. Who knows?
Yeah, completely not going how this is going to go. I like Ty's bet that he mentioned earlier, the over for receptions for Greg Ward. That's at 3.5. I like that more than any of the other receptions props that are out there as far as Fulgham or Deshaun Jackson.
So
I like Deshaun's. Well, once again, this is on Thrive Fantasy. I haven't looked at Sportsbook. I think Thrive Fantasy has pretty good,
They are
pretty
the
good
best.
lines.
They're the
They
best.
are the best. So if you're listening and you aren't signed up for Thrive Fantasy, make sure you go and sign up. Use that promo code ASPIRE. You get up to 50% up to $50 back on your deposit match. Code ASPIRE. Thank you. That is such a good little, what's that called? Segue. Sure. But I was going to say, I think Deshaun Jackson's, I forget, plug. Yes, that was the word I was looking for, plug. But Deshaun Jackson's receiving was in like 30. I feel like it was like 34 maybe or something. I was like, it was even less than Greg Ward's on Thrive Fantasy. And I was like, oh, I like that. I like that a lot because I imagine, I just think they're going to they're going to hit a long pass tonight. Wentz going to hit him for a long pass and they're just going to connect.
Wentz.
It hopped up to 41 on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Was it? So it was probably down there. I mean, they're probably not saying they don't get their lines from everywhere else, but and then also another one I liked on Thrive Fantasy was Graham Gano, which to me doesn't really make sense because if they have an implied team total of 20, the Giants do, and he's at 6.5, that means he's going to have 2 field goals unless they miss an extra point, I guess is what but 2 field goals and 2 extra points. So he's going to go over 6.5 points just on that logic of a team implied total of 20. So I think that's a pretty good bet too there. So
He is the fifth highest rated kicker on Pro Football Focus right now. Graham Gano.
Stud. What a stud. Graham, if you're watching this before you go out there and play tonight, just know Aspire's got your back.
At Thrive Fantasy.
Thrive Fantasy.
And Thrive. Thrive and Thrive, both of them.
We'll just start our own Thrive. Hey, did you guys think that was pretty sweet though, our email? That was pretty sick. They sent that out to every single player, or every single person signed up at Thrive. They sent it out, and they, of course, they had to use the one there. I was like, dude, you could have who's your fucking media guy or your tech guy? I want to talk to him. Like, you couldn't have find a better picture than that? Are you kidding me? Gosh, what a terrible picture that was.
What do you
They
mean?
should have asked you to
Looks
just
good.
like take a selfie and send it in or something.
They should have, or do something like, what the hell? Well, I get it because I'm in the back, but they could have asked me. I have it saved here. I would have taken in like a minute. You would have said, hey, you want to be in our email that we're going to send out to the company? I'd be like, yeah, hold on, work. Pause work and go and do that right away because.
But we're not talking crap on Thrive Fantasy. Sign up.
No,
use code FIRE.
no, we're not. Just next time, hey, I like to look good. I like to look good, play good, and I just didn't feel like that was a good picture, man. I could get this smile going, and people really liked it then. So Thrive, thank you. So let's keep going. So who wins tonight, Giggs? Who do you think wins? You a little sleepy, Kyle?
Yeah,
Man.
I am. I'm getting hit with it.
I want to say Eagles, but my gut is like, yo, go Giants, go New York.
I'd imagine like it's probably gonna be one of those where like every single analyst is picking the Eagles. I'd imagine, and then I could just imagine at the end of the night one of those dumbass Twitter accounts that the Giants run. The Giants win, and it's like, oh, look at here, nobody picked us. You know what? You know when they do that shit all the time. They think they're so clever. They're little Twitter people that run
Oh,
it.
it pisses me off.
Oh, guess nobody.
Yeah, you want a
believed in
golden
us.
star?
And then they start pulling statistics out. Daniel Jones is the only quarterback to throw for 50 yards on a full moon.
It's true. They do make the best stats. What was the? Oh no, I don't remember what it was. But they did. ESPN tweeted something, and it was like of Tyrann Mathieu, and he said that he was a trendsetter and that he started the like blonde tips or whatever, and then the one
tips.
eye paint on one eye. He said that to ESPN, and ESPN put that in a picture of him saying, and it's like, Nelly's been having the one eye for like every year. Like you didn't start no trends. Like I don't see people just doing one eye. Like what the hell are you talking about? Anyways,
Claypool does it.
Yeah, but he does like he's cool because he goes like this or something.
And he's better. He's better.
And he's just a beast. He's Megatron Jr. So, anyways,
senior.
So Ryan, who do you think wins tonight? And obviously, we already know who you're gonna pick.
No, I really think that, like I said, the Eagles, basically basing off the Eagles, don't lose in black uniforms, all black. Secondary, I think the Eagles have kind of that like whole underdog mentality. Like they've been listening. They probably didn't deserve to win that game last week, but they almost did. They came back against a very good Ravens team with a very good defense. I think they're starting to take on that underdog mentality, and I'm predicting the Eagles to win 27-10 tonight.
Ryan, I need you to explain to me right
27-10? They're going to blow them out?
Mm-hmm.
Bold.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do the alternate spread then?
Yeah, I will. I'm going to go do it right now. I hadn't yet, but I just picked the sport, so I'm going to put where my mouth is.
See, this is the type of stuff I don't understand about Pro Football Focus. So it's Carson Wentz, 20-plus yards, On the outside right, he's 4 for 10, 112 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks, 82 NFL quarterback rating. But he has a Pro Football Focus rating in that specific area of 89.8. On the left side of 20 plus yards, 4 for 10, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, 127.1 NFL QB rating. But he has a 67 Pro Football Focus rating in that category. What? Like that just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand that. Because I was gonna bring up on the left flat, in 5+ yards, he's pretty bad. So I'm curious if that's gonna be something the Giants are gonna focus on. If maybe they're just gonna keep Bradbury on the opposite side. I don't know. That's interesting, something to look at. They are pretty efficient on that right side. The Eagles are.
I'd imagine Bradbury's just going to stay in Fulgham. He's looking like their best player in offense right now. I mean, other than Wentz.
Just to be clear, people, I just put money where my mouth is. I just put the Eagles to put money on the Eagles to cover 13.5.
Oh, did you do a parlay or just that single?
No, I didn't do a parlay. I did a single. I can add something to it.
Do you think that they're so efficient to that right side because it's the strong side and they do a lot of RPO? That would actually make a lot of sense. Because
I think when Carson rolls out,
that would make the most sense then. You're definitely that would be, yeah. Okay, interesting.
Is he a lefty?
And Giggs
no.
left.
Tua Tagovailoa.
What the hell?
Tua was the first quarterback,
that fucks
lefty quarterback
everything
to play
up
the
when
game
he
since
leaves.
Kellen Moore in 2015. That of the day.
So
why did you do that?
I don't know. What was I going to say about Wentz? Well, usually quarterbacks also to the right. That's I just think that a lot of them look to the right because that's the right side. It's easier. I think it's much easier. I mean, I'm no quarterback, but I dabbled a little bit in high school. I just think that when you're throwing, it's more awkward throwing it to the left rather than the right. I just feel like it's more natural, obviously. So that's why probably he's better on that side too.
I don't really see the difference. I mean, for an elite quarterback, I just don't really think it would be that different. Maybe. I don't know.
It matters. It's science. What's Benny say? Emergency. Am I starting? Who am I starting in my flex? Tim Patrick, Darius Slayton, or Jarvis Landry? That's an excellent question there, Benny boy. I'll kick it over to Ryan. Ryan, who does he start? Tim Patrick, Slayton, or Landry?
Why didn't you take this? This is a layup for your boy Tim Patrick, Ty.
I said this. I said starting. Well, Kyle never uploaded the video, but I said a couple weeks ago. I think I said 2 weeks ago after he had that big game. Tim Patrick is going to be a wide receiver 30 for the rest of the season. Take that to the bank, deposit that wide receiver 30 for the top wide receiver 30 for the year. That's what I am predicting. Better than everyone likes Jerry Jeudy. Better than Jerry Jeudy. Just letting y'all know. But who do you start? I mean, I start, but I also think he does have a tough matchup this week in Kansas City. Their secondary is actually pretty good.
All right, so it was Tim Patrick, Darius Slayton, and
Landry.
I think I'm different than you guys on Darius Slayton. I don't love Darius Slayton tonight. So, Ben, you should be lucky. Just hold him out of your lineup. Then you can decide between the two when it comes. You have time to make the decision on Sunday. Of a hunch, I guess I'd go Tim Patrick.
I mean, I'm just saying. Last week against New England, he had eight targets, four receptions for over 100 yards. So, Cameron Brate or Gronk last week? Yeah, I made the bold prediction and it didn't work out.
No, there's no question. I'm starting Jarvis Landry.
No question.
I'm just kidding. Said nobody ever. No, I mean,
I have to throw the ball out.
I mean, hey, that's a little bit biased there, Ryan. I do like Slayton this week because the Eagles secondary is terrible. No, I mean it's not terrible. Yeah, but
I don't
mean,
think anyone knows if he's going
He's
to shadow him until
he's
they
had
line up on the field.
better years.
I just don't think that Daniel Jones is going to have time to throw the ball.
Yeah,
the
that's
thing.
my
I think
biggest
they're going to get
concern,
after the
too.
quarterback.
I don't see a world
And you know how
where they
games go. It
don't.
usually seems like when Odell throws a temper tantrum, they seem to work the ball to him the next game. That could take away from Stockton, Jarvis Landry. I don't exactly know if that's going to happen. Obviously, we don't know what they're drawing up in their game plan, but
Plus, Drew Lock can slang it.
slang it to Tim
I
Patrick.
honestly think that the game's going to be closer than what people think. I honestly think Denver is a decent team. Like, I don't think that they're trash by any means.
Drew Lock is a guy that wants to go out to win too. So like he's a dude that if they're behind, he's still just gonna try and go and ball out. So I do
Richard
like him.
Rodgers TD tonight, Brian says, book it. Hey, Brian, if he doesn't, then you're going to come on the stream and give all your shitty picks, and then I'm going to make fun of you. How about that?
Hey, to be clear, he must have watched my stream because that was my pick for anytime touchdown score. Thanks, Brian, for watching. I'm
True.
assuming you
A lot of
watched.
people
Wait,
did watch that stream.
So here's my question: Is how the hell do you say that name? Pites Lars? Pietzlarns?
Hey, don't call him out. He's a random loyal listener. Let's not get
Oh,
into it.
you're right. Sorry,
he
Brian.
is. He's always active in chat.
Pineslars. I think that's how you say it. Pineslars.
I think he's so loyal because he just wants us to ask him to come on once.
You loyal.
He does.
Yeah, I think he's just clout chasing.
Yeah, he's thirsty for that. He's thirsty for that vid feature, dude.
All right, here's the real question. Who's going to score 2 clutch touchdowns tonight? Who can somebody throw down a hundo and make a couple thou? Who is it?
2 touchdowns?
Two tutties.
All right, Deshaun Jackson.
Yes.
Huh?
ASL, he said.
Yeah, I'm going to go Deshaun. Deshaun 2 tutties. He's going to have I think he's a good captain spot this week. He's going to have a good week. As long as that hammy and other groin and whatever else, any soft injury tissue he's going to have today, as long as he can get through the game and stay healthy, Deshaun.
I'll take a long shot. Obviously, 2 touchdowns. None of them are actually all of them are long shots, but I'll take a really deep one. Actually, my probably favorite one would be Richard Rodgers, and I'm sure the odds are astronomical on that one. But I kind of, if that was, I would pick Richard Rodgers to score 2 touchdowns out of everyone.
Listen,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even looking at the odds. I would definitely look at
I'm not either.
you guys you must have been smoking crack before you started this, because if you're
I
not
just got done
picking,
before this stream.
if you're not picking Jason Kroom, you're really messed up in the head. Anybody's last name is Kroom, I'm picking them. All right.
Now, if that happens, Tyler takes full credit for it. We're just screen record that one.
Yeah.
What, for saying Kroom?
Yeah. No. Just if he scores 2 touchdowns, Kyle called it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'll post it on and
If
I'll
he
have
scores
a
2 touchdowns,
clickbaity picture of Kyle.
I will call.
Like this, and it'll be crewman.
Yeah, and I'll call Thrive Fantasy, and I'll tell them that everybody should sign up right now. Everybody that's watching, go to Thrive Fantasy. It's in the description below, and sign up. Use code Aspire, and we give you free kisses. That's a pretty good deal.
Well, let's wrap it up here. Any last takes here?
Who's winning the NFC East? That is a question from Benny
That's a good question.
Streisinger, and I think that's a great question because it's easy. Alex Smith is going to become the starter here soon, and Washington's taking it.
Ooh.
I do.
Who wins
for
it?
him to take over. I mean, this is stupid. I'm going to take the Eagles. It's not that biased. Let's be honest. I mean, it's
That's so biased.
anyone has a decent chance. The Eagles have probably had the toughest. I can't imagine anyone playing a harder schedule than the Eagles so far out of the 4 teams.
Steelers.
I don't know who they've played. No, I'm saying in the NFC East.
Yeah, I mean, it's seriously a toss.
I will go. I'm going to go with the wild card here, and that's going to be Dallas. I think Dallas figures it out, and Dallas is going to be good down the stretch. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I don't think there's a stupid answer out of the 4 other than.
No, I think it's going to be probably the Eagles. I think that they're probably the best. They've been hurt. They're going to get healthier. I think that they'll probably win the NFC East, but it's not saying much. But I do think that they're a decent team. They've just been banged up, and like you said, they have played a pretty hard schedule as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually think Washington that's a for sure thing, but it is actually like in the back of your head, you can kind of think, "Right, that's not that
Washington has
far-fetched."
a pretty decent defense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
Exactly.
not-
And their offense,
just
they have
need-
weapons. It's just they
They-
don't have a quarterback.
God, their quarterback situation is disgusting.
Yeah.
So
It is messy.
they should just leave. They should leave. What's his face in? Haskins. They should just leave him.
Oh, I upset an Eagles fan in the chat.
All right. So let's wrap this up. Hey, if you guys, we're going to be posting a video tomorrow, recapping everything here tonight after the game. Talk about a couple plays for this weekend, yada, yada, yada. So make sure you check that out. Hey, one of our videos right now has 180 views. We're getting famous.
We're getting there.
Getting there. And every single video has been going up and up and up in watchers. And it's not even people that are subscribed. So if you're watching, please hit that subscribe. Hit that like button. It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. Share with your friends. Tell them, these guys, they know what they're talking about, okay? First of all, they're entertaining. But second of all, they know what they're talking about, which we do. So thank you for watching. And you guys have anything else before we go?
Scott
No?
had something to say. What was that, Scott?
Well, thank you.
I don't know.
Scotty over there. He's saying order some KFC. That's what he's. So thank you guys for watching. And have a
He cut out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
That's
for
it.
watching and have a great night.
day.
See you guys.
Good luck
Goodbye.
in your best night. Bye.
Dude, you cut